Hey, it's Drew and Danny. We are basically trying to cover all the questions that we're getting in from you guys, and one that's come up, and it is a real issue in our business, or challenge, issue I wouldn't say, but challenge, is how do we evaluate a property for what it's going to cost to renovate in such a short period of time, right? A lot of the deals that we're looking at, there are 10, 15, 20 other buyers that are ready to bid on them right away. So we need to make a decision fast. And frankly, I don't know exactly how you figure this all out so fast. I'm curious. Number one, when we're walking through a property, what are some of the things that you're looking for to make sure that there's no major issue, the house isn't going to fall down or whatever it is, that we should totally run in the other direction?
Yeah, so first of all, let's just take a single family for an example. We found this great property, has a big opportunity. We like the layout, we like the bedroom count, the bathrooms and all that. So we're not doing a ton of remodeling. We're just looking at this for maybe a cosmetic, remodel. Always exterior for me first. I'm always walking around that exterior. I am walking probably a block and a half down just to make sure there's no issues with the roof, because these are all the big ticket items that I know that are.
What specifically on the exterior?
So we're looking at the roof. We're trying to guess the age of the roof to make sure that's in good condition. If that's in good condition, now we're looking at the soffit and the fascia surrounding where the roof is connected to see if there's any holes in there. If you see holes in there, you might have an infestation of possible squirrels, which cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Plus, they possibly could do a damage to a lot of your electrical. So I'm not trying to scare, some of the things I'm just looking at, when we're walking there.
Well, just side note, we lived in a duplex together, and we had a squirrel as one of our roommates.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember walking in, and my dog is face to face with a squirrel. I'm like, how did that get in there? So there was all this stuff is learning lesson and knowledge that hopefully that we can, break down for you guys. Holes around the soffit and fascia, the roof, the foundation to see if there's any holes around there. That's a great entry point for mice, so you want to make sure those types of things are taken care of. Siding, windows, that sort of thing. I mean, those are all fixable things. You're just going to have to add that to the budget. I mean, if you've got to count how many windows that might need to be installed, what type of siding that you have. Are we going to have to paint this, or if it's a maintenance-free siding? So there's a lot of different options and scenarios from that respect. Then, assuming all those things are right? So there's not a ton of work that I need to do from the outside. I'm walking in the inside. Really, the first thing I'm doing is going down in the basement, the spot that you hate the most.
Yeah, a lot of times I won't go with you.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of the big ticket items are. You're always screaming down, is it okay to go down there?
Well, there's cobwebs, it stinks, It's just never for me. It's usually not. So
the basement is where you can see where all the pipes are run, where you're going to see your electrical panel, where you're going to see your heating and your cooling system. So those are the sort of things that are also big ticket items that's going to add a lot of money to the budget. Now, they might make sense to replace as long as we have enough room in the budget to do this remodel.
How do you know if it's old? I mean, you just look at it and you say, all right, this looks like it's an old thing and it's probably going to need to be replaced, or is there any way of really getting specific?
So a couple different things. For the mechanicals, when I'm down in the basement, I'm always looking at we live in Minneapolis and we're looking at a bunch of properties in Minneapolis. I'm always looking at the Minneapolis city site. Then you can really see every single open permit, closed permit, any single work that is done previously in that house.
Pretty much in any city,
100%.
Yeah.
Someone that the city definitely has that access.
Yeah, or county or whatever it is.
For sure. Yeah. So there you can see if that roof was replaced within the last 20 years. You can see if that boiler or furnace was replaced, because most of those things were permitted and were inspected and were passed. So if I'm looking at the city site, I'm seeing if there's any open permits that that have been related to some of the furnaces, the boilers. If I see an open permit, that's a red flag to me. That means someone didn't install that right. That means the city inspector didn't pass it, so I'm going to have to do some sort of replacement there or some sort of fixes to get it up to code. But every single big ticket item down there, you got your boiler, your furnace, your water heater, all has some serial number or model number or date on there to see the age of it. Then you just basically do the math. If the water heater's within 5 years of age, we're fine. We still have a good amount of time left on the lifespan on that. So those are some of the things I'm looking down in the basement.